Hi, I'm Lesley Logan, and welcome to another collaboration with Andrea, Maida, Pilates, and myself. Today we're talking about the twists, and I want to talk about twists on the mat. And I think twists are really, really important because it really is the first thing we lose. I think it's really easy in life to kind of like fling an arm back instead of like actually turning, grabbing the item, and coming back, right? So think about the people in a car you're driving, you're like, hey, stop that. Right, because you can't really look because you're driving. But in life, if you constantly use like overextended limbs to do the work of what should be in your center and your core rotation, you will lose it. And then you go to do it and pop, something bad happens, or you end up looking like those people at the grocery store who kind of like shuffle around, right? We don't want that. Like, we want you to be able to move. And in life, there's a lot of times where you actually have to twist and bend over to like pick up the keys you lost on the floor. And like that can be a very dangerous position to put your back in if you don't practice it. So the mat is a great place to practice twisting if you don't have access to equipment. But twists happen all around the Pilates studio in all different planes and ranges of motion. So on the mat we have Criss Cross, we have saw, we have corkscrew, and spine twist. There are also some big twists that have happened in some of the repertoires, and in your side plank you could have some twisting. But those basic ones are Criss Cross, saw, corkscrew, and spine twist. Now, single leg circles can have an element of a twist in them, but I don't want to, it's a little esoteric, so let's just focus on what you can actually feel. So, Criss Cross. When you twist in the Criss Cross, what tends to go wrong is that people roll. So do you see, I was here, and then instead of twisting my elbow to my knee, my whole body goes that way. That's not a twist, it's rolling over. So a lot of people confuse twisting with rolling over. So what you can do, if you're having a hard time twisting without rolling over, is plant the other foot down, keep that hip down on the mat, and then twist. And you can even take this arm, put it on this leg, and use it to help traction your body over. So you get a twist. Place the foot down, switch sides, put the arm there, twist, right? And then when you get better at it, you can just pull this knee in and twist as much as you can past the knee, keeping the hip down. And again, pull that hip down as you twist. So then that way you can get to where you're doing your Criss Cross. And then one more thing about the Criss Cross where cheats happen is people think it is elbow to knee. It is armpit to knee. So instead of thinking, I gotta get my elbow there, no, you have to get your armpit there, which is gonna help bring this rib cage over and lift you up. So you're not just kind of like hanging out on your back. Okay? Give that a go. Now, after the Criss Cross, we actually have corkscrew. And corkscrew twists our lower half of our body around our upper half. So you can do this two ways, with the hips down or with the hips up, right? I actually don't care where you are in your practice. What I do care is that you're not rolling, right? So if you don't have handles like I have and your arms are down by your side, the biggest concern is that the shoulders roll up and then the body is rolling with the legs. Again, we want to keep one part of your body anchored. So if you can, push your hands into a wall or into poles. And then when you take the legs over to one side, line up your big toes so that you don't shrink in your waist. You want to keep that top hip going up, and then both hips will come down. And then again, top hip has to lift up. So you're twisting around your torso. And you'll reverse directions each time, just like in your Criss Cross, how you switch directions each time. And you get to notice, like, oh, when I go from one side, is it easier than when I go from another side? But if you focus on those big toes and you make sure that they're not sliding past each other, you're gonna get a really nice ringing out of the waist. Now, for the saw and the spine twist, my notes are the same, something that really you wanna pay attention to. In the saw, if when you twist, you move, you see that? I moved. That's just like turning over onto your stomach. So you really want to keep your hips still, your feet still. So when you twist the left, maybe you have to pull your right hip back. When you twist to the right, maybe pull your left hip back. And when you round forward, you can't lift that hip up. You can't do that because you lose the twist. So you want to, maybe in the beginning, go, I'm twisting to the left, my right hip pulls back as I pulse. I'm twisting to the right, I pull my left hip back as I pulse. When you go into the spine twist, you twist to the left and you get taller, you pull your right hip back. Right, you twist to the right, you pull your left hip back. And so, if you take one thing away from this whole thing on twists, it's that something is still while the other thing is turning, twisting rather. Because if you move your anchor, you've lost the twist. And then what? We actually lost the purpose of the exercise, and you don't want to waste your time, right? I know I don't. So give those a practice. And I'm sure we'll talk about twists again. I'll talk about twists on the winded chair, and I'll talk about twists on the reformer. But if you have questions about how your twists are doing, just ask me. We can do a whole Skype session about it. Just make sure that you're actually getting the benefits of like wringing everything out and rinsing out your body. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to check out Andrea Maida Pilates channel for her take on twists. And we'll be back next week with more of a collaboration. Subscribe below for more information or go to onlinepilatesclasses.com. Thank you.